Hey guys, I am here with my friend Chuck Lynch with,
Hola.
with Living Foundations Ministry. You have heard Jenny Lamani's testimony, and this is where Jenny and Jason went to seek help in recovering and reconciling through her affair against her marriage. So I wanted to just take a minute and just ask you, how long has Living Foundation Ministries been around?
About 34 years.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, we've been a long time.
That's amazing. That's fantastic. How many counselors do you have here on site?
Well, we have a staff of 4, but our goal has never been to have a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Our goal here is when a person comes for counseling, we teach them tools how to work through problems in living,
Okay.
and then it's our hope and prayer that they will take what they learn here and pass it on to help somebody else. They don't need to come here. If they want to, that's fine.
Okay.
And so we didn't want a large organization. It's like we catch a fish, send them out. We don't collect them.
I love it. That's perfect. And that's kind of what Jenny and Jason have been doing for 10 years now.
Can't
So
beat
that's
that.
super awesome. And exactly, so what is the Living Foundations? What are your specialties in this office?
We handle only what's called problems in living.
Okay.
Now, a lot of us have education with our degrees to do the other stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But again, remember, we're training trainers.
Yes.
And so if you use psychological terms while you're training, they think they have to have a psychological degree to do what we do.
Right.
So I teach in 26 different countries around the world,
Oh my gosh.
India, China, all the place. And I cannot use psychological terms.
Right.
Because remember, we're training lay people to help lay people work through problems of living.
That's amazing. Wow. That's so incredible.
That's what all people do.
So you equip. You're the
Yes.
equippers. That's amazing. So with since Jenny and Jason came, and it was actually they came to reach the help for an affair, we are specifically trying to reach people that's where they're at, whether they've been caught or they've actually had somebody come clean and say this happened. What are, if we have people that are watching that decide, you know what, I think this is where we want to go and see if we can get help, what's kind of the first things that they're going to experience in their first meeting here?
Well, first of all, they're not going to be judged.
Yes.
They're going to be loved, respected. There is a judge, but he doesn't work for me.
Yes.
He has another position.
That's right.
So it eliminates the my guilt, my shame, to them.
Mm-hmm.
We basically, and this is not complicated, we honestly identify what happened.
Okay.
Not judge it, but just what happened.
Right.
And secondly, assign responsibility for the parts, cause and effect.
Okay.
Thirdly, have them assume what's been assigned to them. There may be some precipitating factors that set the party up for an affair. There's a lot of, it can go any way.
Right.
And the fourth thing we do is coach them on how to fulfill what's in the circle of responsibility.
Okay.
And so it's not complicated.
Right. It's the speak the truth and feel
Well,
your feelings
again,
kind of thing.
if they're willing to identify honestly what happened, I can get into more on that, but that's
Yeah.
basically what we do.
Okay. That's awesome. And you give them a safe space here to be able to do that and process through those things.
Yeah, well, because they're not going to be judged.
Yeah. I love
Now, if
it.
they want to be judged, you need to go someplace else.
Right. Right. Okay, so then my other question is do you have any encouragement or some tips for people that are ready to step forward in receiving help in that place? And then I'm going to ask a secondary question after that.
Sure. I've never met an impossible situation. I've met some impossible people.
Yes.
And so I have never met a marriage situation. I've been helping people for 63 years. This is not my
that's
first
amazing.
rodeo. But I know God said the only people he blesses is the doers, not the knowers.
Right.
And so if they're willing to learn what it takes, the tools to rebuild, they can rebuild.
Okay.
That's why Jesus came, died on
Yes.
the cross, paid for this sin in order for us to be able to reconcile one with another.
I love that. That's so true.
Pan comido in Spanish.
So then there's also places though where some people get that maybe one is willing and the other isn't, or they both have tried and there's just a breakdown. What are some encouraging things or some tips that you can give the ones that have realized like it's not reconcilable?
Well, first of all, Paul said in 1 Timothy 4 that the end times, one of the characteristics, the people are going to be irreconcilable.
Yes.
And I fly all over the world, but every plane I fly in has got two wings.
Mm-hmm.
And it takes two wings to fly. If
Right.
both people are willing to humble themselves before God, honestly identify what happened, we process that. Secondly, we're able to assign responsibility, A, B, C, and D, and then say, are you willing to accept our responsibility? If they are, then say, that's still not going to fix it.
Right.
Are you willing to fulfill what's in your circle of responsibility? So they come back to me and say, this is not working. I say, no problem. What in your circle of responsibility is not, and you're doing, and it's not working?
Right.
Well, they go, well, I don't know. Well, translating means they're not doing it.
Okay.
If they follow through, again, I've never seen anyone who couldn't.
Right.
And I've seen some couples from hell, believe me, I have.
Yeah.
And it is possible.
Okay.
But he wrote a whole book, just came out last year, Reconciliation is Possible.
Okay.
But it's work.
Yes.
And some people have fought and argued and done so long they're wore out.
Mm-hmm.
They're done. And when they're done, they're done.
Yeah.
Why they come here, I don't know if they're done.
Right.
Or you'll have one wife is not done and he is, or vice versa. Again, it takes two wings to make a fly.
Okay. And you are only responsible for your part in it. So.
Okay, remember, circle's responsibility.
Yes.
Romans 12:18. If possible, as much as it depends upon you,
Yes.
be at peace with all men. Or as I translate it, as much as it's, if possible, as much as it depends upon your circle of responsibility.
Right.
Because once he says she and she says he, I say, excuse me, what's in your circle? Your circle.
Right.
And that's what God does. Remember that, take the beam out of your own eye. It's in the Bible. I didn't
Right.
come up with that.
That's right. Awesome. Well, I really appreciate the wisdom that you've shared. In just a small amount of time, I can absolutely see the gift that the Lord has given you and the heart that you have for the Lord. And so I just thank
Old
you
age,
for
girl,
that.
old age.
Well, hey, there's a beautiful place for that as well.
Yeah.
Lots of life to live and lots of wisdom. So thank you so much for sharing that
My
with
privilege.
us.
I enjoyed it.
Yeah, it was great. If you guys would like to reach out and get help from Living Foundation's ministry, I will absolutely leave their website link, their address, and their phone number on this video. If you have questions, if you need prayer, we are here for you. We love you so much, and you are not too far from the Lord. His forgiveness reaches as far as the east is from the west, and you can receive it right here, right now, as well. So you're not alone in this. I want you guys to know that, and Living Foundations is here for you if you need help. We're here for you if you need help, and we are praying for you. We love you, and we bless you, and have a wonderful week.
Thank you for the time together.
Absolutely.
And God bless you too.
Yes.